Hi everyone! Today I'm going to demonstrate this advanced pattern of a square macrame planter box, so stay tuned. Don't forget to take a screenshot of today's project details. Now let's get started. Working off of a 60-inch red cord, we will be attaching 15 white cords that measure 60 inches as well, and we will be attaching them using a reverse lark's head knot. And as always, if you're unfamiliar with your knots, I invite you to go check out my knot tutorial playlist. Okay, once you've got all 15 cords on there, we're going to be attaching another burgundy color cord using a vertical double half hitch. So I never gave you the measurements for this piece of cord here, simply because we use so much of it, it's really hard to calculate how much you're going to need. So when purchasing your supplies for this project, I really recommend that you buy a 2-pound tube of this burgundy color. In the end, you'll have a bit left over, but it's really hard to say exactly how much cord you're going to need. I buy the majority of my rope from ropeshop.ca. I'm not affiliated or sponsored at this point in time, I just really love the rope. I will leave a link to their website in the description box down below if you're interested. Okay, so back to my vertical double half hitches. If you notice, I am struggling a little bit here. That's because I have a really long length that I like to work with when I do the vertical double half hitches. I use about 2 of my arm span lengths, which is about 120 inches at a time. The reason why I work with such long strands of rope at one time is because these vertical double half hitches eat up a lot of length. Okay, so once you're done your first row, we're going to go back in the opposite direction, and I'll just quickly demonstrate what that looks like. It's basically the exact same thing, only in reverse. Also, I'd like to point out a helpful tip. If you are working with long lengths of cord like I am, it's better to wind up your working cord into a ball. That way it doesn't get all tangled as easily when you make your knots. Okay, so back to the pattern. Once you make 3 rows of just regular vertical double half hitches, we're going to remove the very 2 center cords out of the mix, and we're going to continue to do our vertical double half hitches right up until that center point. What we're trying to accomplish here is a diamond-shaped void in the center. And I find it's easiest to work with one side at a time. So once you're done that row, we're going to remove the next 2 cords that are in the center to the right, and then we're going to carry on and then remove the next 2 cords and so on until we have 3 vertical double half hitches left. Okay, once you're finished the one side, we're going to move on over to the other side and do the exact same thing. And this is what it should look like. And now we're going to work on that center feature. Okay, grabbing the top 2 center cords, we're going to cross them over and do regular double half hitches. And we're going to create a vertical line that goes all the way straight down and leaves out the last 3 sets of white cords. I will tie a couple of double half hitches in real time for you, but after that, I'm just gonna motor along. But if I'm going too fast for you, I'd like to remind you that you can always adjust the speed of this video by tapping the 3 dots on the top right corner. And of course, once you complete the one side, we're gonna be doing the exact same thing to the other side. Alrighty, for the center, I decided to do a 4-strand weave. If that's not your jam, that's okay. You can always incorporate something else that's more your flavor. I left these white cords a little bit on the longer side so that you have room to play with it. If you wanted to, you could do some square knots or some berry knots, or maybe you can add some of my easy rose knots in the center. It's totally up to you. You're not limited to just the 4-strand weave. So once you're done your center portion, we're going to be tying some more double half hitches to complete that diamond shape. I always find that the bottom half of these double half hitches are always really tricky when you have weaving that kind of moves around. How about you? Let me know in the comments below if you struggle here too. Okay, so now that we have the center portion all done, it's time to do some more vertical double half hitches and fill in the sides. This part can be a little bit tricky working around the centerpiece, so just make sure that your tension is all right. Ta-da! Now we're going to be doing 3 more rows at the bottom. Check out my miming skills. I'm getting pretty good at them. Okay, bad news. You thought we were done, but no, we've got 3 more sides to do just like this, but this time it's going to be some vertical double half hitches, all in burgundy. So for the bottom is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be attaching some cords right along these stitches, right along the bottom here. This is the back side of our work, and we're just pulling them through the bottom of these vertical double half hitches. To do this part, I highly recommend a tapestry needle, but I could not find mine anywhere, so I had to improvise with some fishing line. So once you attach all 15 on there, we are going to be tying some more vertical double half hitches. I went ahead and did some rows, and this is what it currently looks like. Because we're attaching it to the bottom, it kind of really stands up. I mean, once we get more rows in there, it will stand up nicely. Oh, and be sure to weave in any loose ends that you have in the back. This is a box and it will be a little bit noticeable, so be sure to weave them in. And I found my tapestry needle finally, and this is just what you would need to do to weave them in. You just pull them through a couple loops in the back and then snip off the excess. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We have our one side that we did on the rolling rack, and then we attached the bottom piece, and now we're going to attach our front piece. So kind of like we did before, we're going to be attaching it along the bottom here, just like we did earlier. But as you can see, we do have a lot of fringe here. So to get rid of these bottom burgundy fringes, we're going to pull one of the set through in the back of our work. And then with his friend, we're going to be tying just a regular overhand knot. So we're going to alternate by pulling one cord through and then tying the other one with an overhand knot until we go straight across the bottom. And next we're going to sew up the sides using the extra overhanging pieces. The original cords we used to hang our wall hanging on before we turned it into a box. I hope that makes sense. Leave me a thumbs up emoji if you're following me here. Even though the knots and the concept is simple, this is really an advanced project. You have to be worried about all your pieces correctly lining up and then stitching and weaving. There's many things to learn in this project. So the final step is to trim the fringe and comb it out. If you like this video, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing. Also, here are 2 more videos I think you'll enjoy. I'll see you over there.